All right, today is the day that I get started with this piano. First step is to move it onto the plastic, which is what I've done. And then I am going to start cleaning it with just some warm water. I don't think I'm going to put soap on it or anything. Got to put my little speaker thing over here. I need to remove some of the parts so that I can paint those separately. I'm going to be repainting on top of some of these pieces. I'm just gonna, like, if I buy new knobs because one is missing, I'm just gonna paint everything. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get back in there later and detail it with some lacquer. I don't know. Anyway, I cannot take these off because they are braided on. I could pry them off maybe, but I don't know if I want to do that. There's the bench over there. It needs a lot of sanding and work. I used to have a cat that wanted to use it as a clawing thingy, whatever they call those. So as you can see, it's all chewed up over here by claws, my kitty cat. Anyway, this piano was purchased back in 1978. It was my very first purchase as a teenager, just about to exit high school and going into college. I wanted to play piano. So I used my savings and bought the piano. I believe it was $3,000, and had it brought to my house where I lived with my mom and my brothers. I never finished music school because I became a visual artist and a healthcare professional, which I really liked, and it brought good money. I'm not saying that music cannot bring you good money, because it can if you do it right. I just kind of got off track with the piano lessons and stuff so that I can focus on healthcare, um, radiology. That's what my first career. And then fine arts and education was my add-on career. But what I want to do with this piano today, or coming up, is to refinish it, but not refinish it to look like wood. It will be an art piece when I'm done with it. So it's going to have a kind of a tan. Um, Let me flip this to me so I don't keep losing it. It's going to have maybe a taupe color. This is a sample of the color on the back of here, on here. And then I'm going to go into it with styling. I think I want to go with my new movement in artwork, where I do some single line drawing on it once the paint dries, the single coat of paint. All right, so everything has some clear gesso. See, this is some right here. It just has not dried. It's gonna dry clear. This whole thing was white as I was painting it. So I am happy with the results so far. Um, I've never done anything like this before, but I feel like I love challenges. This is, like, to me, a blank canvas that I can get in there and I can do whatever I want. So I am going to get the sketchbook out right now and start practicing on some design concepts for this thing. I believe it's going to be painted in two different tones, but I'll have designs kind of put in here that I like. This chair right here. I don't want to make it look like the chair, but I do love the colors in here. And I'm going to do a lighter version of some of those darks in here, and then maybe a pop of red every now and then within the design. I'm not sure if I want to do like a straight out abstract or maybe some kind of organic natural design on here, but we'll see. I'm just going to play with some ideas. So now what I'm gonna do is, I don't want this carving in the music stand or in the front of the piano face, because I just want it to be smooth so I can do painting on here without the interruption of these carvings. So what I'm gonna do is take some wood filler right here and fill in these carvings, and then I'm gonna sand it down so that I can get ready to paint that first coat of paint on this and the piano, which is inside the house. So I'm gonna work on this now. I'm a little bit nervous about doing this because this is an important piece of furniture, which is also an instrument, but I want to do something different with it. So here we go. I found that spreading the wood filler in this crease works better with a soft scraper instead of the hard scraper because it seemed like the hard scraper was pulling it back out of the crease. But this soft one gives a more buttery kind of feel, and and then you have a cleaner, smoother, flatter area than when I was using the this thing right here. It was not the putty wasn't staying in the crease. So try a softer scraper instead of a hard one if you try this, do this technique. So they're both done. I just need to wait for these to dry and then I'll start the sanding. So it takes about 2 hours for these to dry. Okay, today is sanding day. I did some they call it bonding when you do it to a car, but I did some wood filler on these things to fill in some grooves. So today I'm sanding and it's turning out really, really nice. It's nice and smooth. So when it's time to paint over this, it's gonna be a nice, smooth texture. Everything is sanded and it looks pretty good. This one has a few little imperfections in here, but I think once I start painting it, that'll fill in. It'll be fine. These are perfect. These turned out really, really good. So I just want a nice, clean, smooth surface. I'll be bringing the paint out here in a few minutes so that I can start painting these pieces first. So now with the main part of the whole instrument, the piano, I had to go ahead and tape down all the keys because I want to paint back here. And when the keys are up, I can't get to this little piece of wood back there. So everything is all sanded and dusted. And also it has a clear gesso coating on here so that my paint sticks a lot nicer. And I'm ready to get started with the painting. This is part one. Stay tuned for part two. We're going to do part two painting. This is part one, the prep